Good stuff. All right, here we go. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Robert.
All right, let's get this thing started. Let me let some of you guys, I know some of you guys want to record this. You guys are always, of course, welcome to record this. For those of you guys that are joining us over on Facebook, of course, also on Instagram, I'm going to encourage you to come join us over on Zoom. Why is it important to join us on Zoom? Because I'm going to be sharing scripts, and you won't be able to see them, of course, here on Instagram. So if you're over on Facebook, if you're over on Instagram, I'm going to encourage you to come join us over on Zoom. All right, so let's go ahead and address this. We are, of course, on the topic of database. We are continuing to grow that. We're continuing to work that. So let me go ahead and address any questions, any comments, any concerns, anything of anything that I can address right out the gate.
Yes, Robert. Hi, I have a question. Just today already, I start calling my sphere of influence, and I couldn't choose topic because first topic, your property price of your property goes up. In actually, they goes down for like 6%. It's nothing exciting about that. And also, I wanted to talk about interest rate, but interest rates, how we know it stays the same.
Mhm.
Even Federal Reserve, like a little bit put it down.
Mhm.
So I'm kind of what value I can bring, except like happy Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Except that what I can say, people, especially I would like to have you answer about interest rate.
So let's do this. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to be dismissive of your question because that is actually the point that I'm going to cover today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to address some other questions first, and then I'm going to come back to that because that's going to be something I want to be able to go into depth with. So instead of answering your question, moving on to somebody else's question, and then coming back to it, I'd rather answer your question in detail because that's exactly what I'm going to talk about today. Okay, so
Okay.
thank you for that. Okay, so let me put you on pause here for just a quick second. And then, Senna, if you can do me a favor, you have the ability now to, of course, admit people. Senna is actually my assistant. She's now joining me. So if you can go ahead and admit people as they come in, Senna. Okay. Let's go ahead and continue in a different direction. What other questions can I address besides Mila's, which I'll address here in just a minute? Bring them in. Come on. I know you guys have questions. Okay. As much as I wish we have it all figured out, we don't. Okay. What are some challenges? What are some mindset things? What are some things that we're just struggling with? And I just can't figure out this database. Anything of anything. I need to know with what's going on with you guys. Okay. I read something today. I talked a little bit about this yesterday. And what one thing that I said, which was kind of like under my tongue, was 1 hour. Listen, 1 hour of implementation is of more value than 1,000 hours of intention. Let me repeat that. 1 hour of implementation is more impactful than 1,000 hours of intention. Let me give you an example. What do I mean by that? Okay. I was talking to my girlfriend about this morning, and we were going into the depthness of this. In 1 hour of implementation versus the 1,000 hours of intention is the following. Okay, I want to lose weight. My goal is to go to the gym and I am going to work my butt off. Okay, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get ready. I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy the best clothes that's going to make me the most confident, the most comfortable, so that when I work out, I'm going to be able to work out as good as I possibly can. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go buy some shoes. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to put this perfect schedule in place and I'm going to go ahead and work out every single day. But I'm not going to do it until Monday because I still got to go buy my clothes. I still got to go buy my shoes. And when I do that, I need to make sure I set my alarm. Okay. But I'm going to set my alarm so that I can go ahead and be prepared so that on Monday, I'm going to go in there and I'm just going to work my butt off because I am going to bring a new version of me coming in 2025. Okay. But before I do that, here's what I want to do. I want to make sure that I get my closet organized because I don't even know where my gym clothes is at. Okay. So I want to make sure you guys understand my point. Until I get into the gym, there is absolutely zero value of all of this. I need to make sure that we understand this because it's not going to work until we implement it. Because when we implement it, what's going to happen on Monday? The alarm's going to go off. Oh my gosh, I'm tired. I don't want to do this. Right? Snooze. I promised myself I was going to be at the gym at 5 o'clock. It's already 4:50. I haven't got ready. I'm not even dressed yet. All right. Well, I didn't even get any shake. I was supposed to get like this pre-workout thing. I know my buddy told me about it. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, you know what? Tomorrow for sure, I'm gonna do it. Okay, because I gotta go get that pre-workout. I don't really feel like I can do this. I'm gonna go back to sleep. So for sure, tomorrow. How many of you guys do this in your business?
But,
And this is important when we understand this. This is why it is of much more value, 1 hour worth of implementation versus 1,000 hours of intention. You guys have to understand that. And this is what I continue to push. And I absolutely have to have you understand this point. Okay. Because I appreciate my audience. I absolutely adore you guys. I don't get paid for this. And it serves zero purpose unless I can get success stories like Sujata earlier this week. Okay. That one phone call is going to be worth 15, 20, 25, 40, $50,000. I don't need her to disclose that. But that's what one phone call, that's what one intent does. Because she could have perfected her schedule. She could have gotten ready. She could have practiced 1 million times. But until she picks up that phone, that reality is not going to take place.
Tell me about it. I was very afraid. But I
Okay.
did it.
Good for you and kudos. Okay.
Thank you.
So, and I want to make sure that, of course, everyone is getting some version of a victory. And it's not always going to come in the form of, I set an appointment. Sometimes it's going to come in the form of I was able to pick up the phone and make the call. I was able to get to my desk. You know what? I didn't want to wake up, but I did. Okay. I didn't get to the gym at 5, but I got to the gym at 5:05. Good. Do it again tomorrow. And tomorrow. And again tomorrow, the next day and the next day and the next day and the day after that. Okay. So this is the reason I know I get on my soapbox sometimes. I understand. Okay. But I want to make sure we all understand that going back to the 1 hour of implementation is of more value than 1,000 hours of intention. Okay. Because in that 1 hour, nobody picks up. In that 1 hour, you don't have those conversations. In that 1 hour, it doesn't matter. Because guess what? Tomorrow you get to try again. And in that next hour that you do it, two people now pick up. And you completely screwed it up. But who cares? Because now you're moving what is the momentum. Are we on the same page? Okay.
yeah, yes, Robert. And the same time, I called some of my people who I know in my sphere in influence, and
Mhm.
only one person pick up of the phone, and we have like some awkward conversation. It's not like, he don't mind that I will call you, but I think it's just polite way. Okay, just he is a very polite guy. He answered, "Okay, call me."
Yeah.
So after that, I made like six call and only one person pick up, and I'm afraid even more than I was before.
Yep. So thank you for sharing that because that's basically going to happen with everybody. Okay. And if you're going to sit here and say and deny it, it's going to happen to everybody. But here's the difference though. You make 10 calls, okay, and you're going to be afraid on 9 or 10 of them, and then you get two, three, or four people that pick up. Nothing. But then you make another 10 calls, and now you're nervous on 6, 7 of them, but not so much on the other three or four because you now have that confidence. And now you get one person that says maybe, but nothing comes of it. And then the next 10, now you're not quite as nervous. Okay, maybe three or four of them you're nervous, but the other 6 or 7, I got this. You're building the momentum. And then you get to that third, fourth, and fifth day, and somebody says, Mila, hey, thanks so much for calling me. As a matter of fact, you know what? Now that I think about it, my buddy at work was thinking about doing something. So we have to make sure that we continue to do this. Remember, okay, 1 hour of implementation is way more impactful than 1,000 hours of intentions. Let me now address Mila's question because this is something that we have to understand. When we call our people, we have to have a topic of value. So let's do this. I need participation. And the participation is what are some topics that we can talk to our audience about? Okay. So let me get you guys to unmute. Just throw it at me. What are some topics you guys can talk to your database about? And then just do one. Okay. If you're going to participate, which I do want you to, just give me one.
How I set interest rate or
Interest
loan
rates.
program.
Good. Interest rates. What else?
How's the market?
Okay, market, like a market update. There we go. Okay, what else?
Median sale price change year over year.
Okay, there we go. So basically, year over year, a yearly market update. What else?
New developments.
Okay, new developments. There we go. Absolutely. I love that one. Okay, community projects. What else?
Shortage of inventory.
One more time, please.
Short of the inventory.
Shortage of inventory. What's going on? We need more inventory. Okay, here's what I want you guys to do. I'm going to give you guys the menu of topics. Okay, these are the things that we want to make sure that we are, of course, putting on there. We got some participation also on Instagram, so thank you for participating. Just sold, just listed. Yes and no on the just listed, just sold, because we don't necessarily want to bore the heck out of our personal database about every listing we take. We already do that enough when it comes time to social media. But what I do want you to do, Isaac, the business tycoon, is I want you to talk specifically to your database when there's an investment opportunity. Okay, when you have that property that is worth 600,000 and you have the seller that's willing to sell it for 500,000, you can call your database and go through. Isaac, hey, it's Robert, your realtor, just giving you a call. Just want to give you a quick little update what's going on with the real estate market. Every once in a while I come across these opportunities that are basically below market. Sometimes they're at 70, 80, 90%. I have a current listing that is worth about 600,000. The seller is willing to sell it at 500,000. My question to you is, who do you know that is in the market looking to invest in real estate that could be interested in a property like this? You guys got that? Okay. Let me give you guys some more menu of topics. These are, of course, valuable. So make sure you write this down. I'm going to go a little bit slow. Okay. So make sure you write this down. We can talk about interest rates. We can talk about loan programs. We can talk about a quarterly update. In the last 3 months, we've had a 4% increase. In the last 3 months, we had a 4% decrease. I'm going to answer that question too, Mila. A yearly update. This last year, from January 1st, 2024 through December 31st of 2024, we had an 8% increase. We had a 4% decrease. Okay, and we'll talk about that as well in a little bit. You can also talk about law changes, benefits of a trust, investment opportunities, how to invest. Okay, you could talk about what's it called? Community projects. Okay, about 6, 7 years ago, in the city of Inglewood in California, just outside of LA, they built a stadium. Okay, and why am I even talking about this? Well, because before they even announced there was going to be a stadium built, properties in the area were selling between 200 and 350,000. Literally overnight, the moment that they announced that there was going to be a stadium to be built, boom, like that. $300,000 properties were now selling for 500,000, literally overnight. Okay, don't you think your people want to know about that? How about a new mall that's coming into the area? Okay, things of that nature. So in this, you're going to create, we already talked about this. Okay, so if you haven't attended, one of the things we talked about previously is creating a list of all of your people. Put them on an Excel spreadsheet. Past clients, family, friends, associates, people we do business with in the community, dentists, doctor, lawyers, dry cleaners, nail salon, hair salon, those people, and your vendors, escrow, title, lender, attorneys, home warranty, termite, inspectors, all of those people, put them on a list. Put on an Excel spreadsheet. Separate the husband and the wives when you possibly can. Okay. You now have a list. 132, 216, 295, 542, whatever that number is, on an Excel spreadsheet. Then you move over a couple of columns, maybe like 5 or 6, and in that you're going to create a menu of topics. Everything I just gave you, and some. Okay. What you're then going to do is the following. This is how we roll this out now, Mila. You're going to pick one topic, not multiple topics, one topic. You're going to talk to everybody about that one topic. What I don't want to do is have a list of my menu of topics of 12 items and go, well, I'm going to call Mila and I'm going to talk to her about interest rates. And then I'm going to call Vivian and I'm going to talk to her about loan programs. And then what I want to do is I'm going to call Vlad and I'm going to tell him about some investment opportunities. That's not what you do. You pick one topic. And that one topic, you talk to everybody about it, whether it is applicable. Because remember, I am calling my sphere, my people, my past clients, family, friends, associates, and vendors, but I'm not calling them for them. I'm calling them for the people they know. I'm not calling the one person for the one person that's interested or potentially interested. I'm calling the one person who has their database of 100, 200, 500 people. You guys get that? So as an example, if there's an investment opportunity, Isaac, basically, in a sense, we were talking a little bit about that with the investment opportunity. Well, I call my cousin who's 20 years old, works at Jack in the Box. He basically doesn't even live with an apartment. He lives still at home. Why would I call him and tell him about an investment opportunity? Well, because it's not about him, it's about who he knows. Jesse, hey, what's up, cuz? It's your cousin Robert here. How are you doing? Good, man. What's up? What's going on? Hey, I just wanted to talk a little business with you. Do you have a few minutes? Sure. Yeah, I'm actually about to go to work, but I got time. What's happening? Well, hey, I was giving you a call because every once in a while I come across these properties that I get really good opportunities on where I get them 70, 80, 90 cents on the dollar. There's this one property over in the city of blank city. Okay. It's worth about 600,000 and I'm able to have the seller sell it at 500,000. My question to you is, who do you know that is looking to buy a property like this, that is looking to invest, that I can be of service to or that I can reach out to? Because yeah, I'm not in the market. I'm probably going to be looking at buying. I'm probably looking at getting an apartment probably next year or two. But yeah, I'm still at home with mom and pops. Well, it's okay. I'm curious. Who do you know? Well, you know what? Actually, now that I think about it, my restaurant manager, I know he's talking about buying some investment properties from time to time. But I told him about you. He has your card. I'm like, okay, well, tell me a little bit more about when you say investment properties. What is he looking for? I don't know. I really don't pay attention too much. I just tell him about you. Well, that's cool. I appreciate you even talking about me. Well, see, here's the thing. It's just that this property is this property is that. Why don't you talk to your manager and see if I can be of some help to him? As a matter of fact, why don't we do this? Why don't you put me in a group text and introduce me, and then that way I can be of some help to them? Yeah, I guess I could. But you know what, though? Now that I think about it, the owner of the Jack in the Box, he actually is always looking for stuff. So let me talk to him. I know he comes in usually on Thursdays. I'm going to be seeing him later today. Really cool, chill dude. So let me talk to him. Has nothing to do with my cousin who's living at home with mom and pop, that's 20 years old and still going to school. Do you guys understand that? That was kind of a little bit of an extreme oxymoron, if you want to call it that, but I was able to create value from that perspective. Okay. Little do I know if I'm not asking the right questions, and this is a true story, by the way. Okay. While my cousin was going to school, or while my cousin was working at Jack in the Box, he was going to a trade school for welding. Literally overnight. Boom. He went from making $18,000, $20,000 a year to now he's making $85,000, $100,000 a year because now he's a professional welder. Well, here's the thing that I did poor. I didn't put him in my database. Okay. And the true part of it is the fact that in this particular example, I didn't call him for that and I didn't keep him in touch because he's a jack in the box. Well, little do I know, as I called his older brother, who's 26, 27, he says, hey, you got to call Jesse. I think he's actually in the market. What do you mean he's in the market? Yeah, dude, he's been welding for the last 6 months. He's really raking it in. I gave him a call. Sure enough, he says, "Oh, hey, sorry, cuz actually, you know what? I just bought a townhome like a month ago. We're about to close escrow here in the next week or two." Even the good ones, unfortunately, find themselves in this failure process. I want you to learn from those type of things. So never, ever, ever be in a position where you assume that there is no reason you should be calling that person. I did a poor job of adopting even my own cousin. I'm talking about talking to all the people, creating that list, giving them some value. Let me address one more thing now, because Mila talked about how do we spin a negative into a positive. We never want to call with doom and gloom, right? We don't want to sit there, oh my gosh, the sky is falling, right? Here's how we do this. If I'm going through year over year, as an example, I give Mila a call. Mila, hey, it's Robert, your realtor. Hey, Robert, what's going on? Well, hey, Mila, I'm just giving you a call. As you know, I give you a call ever so often. Just wanted to talk a little business. You have some time for me? Sure, what's happening? Well, I have some good and not so good news. Okay. Well, from January 1st all the way through December 31st of last year, there was a 4% decrease in value, meaning houses that were, for example, 500,000, well, now they're selling for right around 460, 470. Okay. So unfortunately, a lot of people have actually lost equity. But here's the good part. There are some great opportunities that are out there for people that are looking to buy properties that are actually below price and value. Right now is probably not the most ideal time for you to sell, but my question to you is who do you know that is looking to either buy, for that matter, even invest and take the opportunity of what's going on in the market, or for that matter, heck, maybe they might be in a position where they need to sell that I can be reaching out to. So we take something from a negative standpoint and turn it into a positive standpoint. You always have to find the positive in that. So remember, recap, create your list, identify all of the people, cross them out as you're calling them, pick one topic, call everybody regarding that one topic. I don't care if it's not applicable to them because we're not calling them for just them. We're calling them for the people they know. Do not pick and choose and say, this person, I'm going to call them about this. I'm going to call that person about that. Are we on the same page? Okay, cool. So what other questions can I address today?
What about, let's say I go to the organization in the church and they have the policy that don't approach people about the business. So how I can work around that and not violate the rule?
Sure, absolutely. Well, first off, you don't do that. You respect that. What you then do is you have to, unfortunately, okay, we're all salespeople here, so let's be honest. Okay, we're going to build some conditional relationships. And the conditional relationships, okay, I know it's a little bit cheesy, but it's with, in a sense, with what we do is outside of, in this case, church, is I'm going to give you a call outside of church. Okay. And I'm going to go through and hey, it's Robert from church. How are you doing? Good. Hey, I wanted to ask you in regards to, we have that event coming up next month. Do you remember what day it was? I can't seem to find it. The whatever. Hey, by the way, I don't know did you know that I'm a realtor? Yeah, I've been doing real estate now for the last 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. I'd love to check in with you from time to time. Would that be okay? And even if that's not allowed, and hey, I'd love the opportunity to take you out to lunch sometime. When's a good time for us to get together for lunch? You have to be able to find your areas of opportunities. Okay. So you're not going to be in there soliciting, giving out cards and doing all that other stuff if they're telling you not to. Okay. Especially in a place of worship. That kind of comes across a little bit inappropriate.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You just have to find alternative ways. All right. So other questions, comments, concerns, anything else I can actually address today? Okay.
I have a more of a comment.
Go ahead.
So I called my sphere, and interestingly enough, I found out one of my clients, my past clients, and he's one of my evangelists, if you may. Anyone he talks to, he tells them about me. He's super happy about everything I was able to accomplish with him. And he said yesterday, he's like, I don't know why they don't call you. I hand out your phone number like candy. Everyone I meet, I talk to, and I believe him because he's an extrovert. And I said, what kind of conversations have you had? He goes, well, it was my buddy at work who wanted to find a townhouse in San Francisco and this and this and that. And I said, okay, can I ask for a favor? I go, next time, are you able to just do a group text? And he stayed kind of quiet. He goes, yeah, okay. And I'm hoping whatever it may be. I just said, I hope a group text, just that way we can keep it transparent, right? I said, that way you could see that you did introduce, and it's a soft introduction too, because we don't want to give him my number and he misplaces it, or you give me his number and he's wondering who is this calling me. So, and he's like, yeah, okay, yeah, and left it at that. But I just want to say that if he really is out there handing my information like candy, it's not working. Nobody's calling me. So
yeah, what I do in those type of situations is basically just make light of it. Ophelia, here's the thing is that that's actually very common. It's kind of an omen in real estate. I don't know what it is or why it is, but the moment that my friends, family, and of course, great past clients hand out my business card, it's almost like it's automatic that person is not going to call me. Okay. I don't know what it is. It's weird. Hey, can I ask if you have a favor though? The next time you do come across a person, can you either A, introduce me via a group text, or B, just let me know a little bit about them, and then that way I know exactly how to maneuver through the conversation with them. Okay. Um, the other thing that I'll do is in those type of situations is I'll ask them in specific, who is that last person? Who's the person that you spoke with that you're referring to? And then all of a sudden the person goes, well, Bob. Okay, but Bob, that dude's like always all talk. He's always on the fence, blah, 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 all sort of stuff. That's when you go, you know what? That's very common. Okay. I get that a lot of the times. People are just a little bit nervous. They don't know where to start. They don't know what to do. And that's my job. My job is, of course, to educate them and let them know with what their options are. Trust me, I'm not going to be pushy. I just want to give them the information. And if they're ready, great. If they're not ready, that's okay. Whenever they're actually going to be ready to do it, I've been in the business now for the last 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 25 years. I'm not going anywhere. So whenever they're ready, they're ready.
Mhm, mhm.
By the way, when do you think you're going to get a chance to talk to Bob next? I now put them as part of the accountability. Well, I'll see Bob at church on Sunday. Oh, awesome. Well, why don't I do this? Why don't you talk to Bob on Sunday, get his permission, and then if I get the group text, awesome. But if I don't get the group text, what I want to do is check back with you on Monday. Would that be okay? Yeah, sure. Now, in this case, you're going to know that, okay, Robert is expecting some version of a group text.
Okay.
Yeah, because there are some people, I don't know the person, I don't know the situation, and I don't want to put necessarily the person down, but some people are just about recognition, and I'm not saying that that's the case. Sometimes people are like, hey, thank you so much, when in reality, he's handed out one business card the entire year.
Right. That's why I was like, well, I don't know, but hey, I'm gonna take it like, give you the benefit of the doubt. And he's,
Yeah.
like I said, a very extroverted man. He's very, very happy.
Mhm.
But still, but that's good because I got stumped. I said, oh, okay, and that's kind of where I left it at. And the good thing that you mentioned is like, hey, so the last one that you talked to, who was it? And went into that segue. So kind of corralling it back to the purpose of it. I just kind of went off and I'm like, oh, I said what I said, and I was like, okay, bye,
Yeah.
type of
Yeah.
thing.
So here, let's now address what do we do with the people that refer us, though? Okay. You have to be careful with this. Don't be the person, excuse me. Don't be the person that buys your business. Don't hand out all these referral fees, but you do want to acknowledge them. Whether the person that they referred you absolutely had poor credit, isn't even worthy of, doesn't even have a job, has, 385 FICO score, they have no money, it doesn't matter. It's the thought that counts. Whenever somebody refers you somebody, make sure you thank them in a version. One of the ways that I thank my people is I send them a $5 Starbucks card. Okay. Nothing fancy. It's the recognition. For some people, it's just the acknowledgement. Okay. I wouldn't invest much more money in this. Okay. If you want to do $10 on something, cool. But I wouldn't do much more money in regards to that. Now, when it closes, it's a little bit different. I'm going to leave it to your discretion. Again, I'm always writing that line because, of course, there is here's the law, which you're not supposed to. As a broker, I'm supposed to tell you all these other things, right? But it's up to you. Okay. And I would reward some of my people. I've had some people where I would buy them front row Laker tickets because they've referred me, that sixth, seventh, and eighth person of the year. And I've made $40,000, $50,000. And some of you guys that may or may not know, Laker tickets front row, they're not cheap. Okay. They're like $3,000 to $5,000 at the very, very least. And that's if you're lucky on a Tuesday, Wednesday game. Okay. So, and I would do that because I would take care of them. Okay. Because avid Lakers fan. Or I would do other things. But don't do this with everybody. Okay. If they refer you somebody, if it's just the one person, what I'll usually do in closing, when it closes, I'll send them basically $50 for a dinner, and then I'll send them some movie tickets. Hey, dinner and a movie on me. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate the referral of Ophelia. She was an amazing client, and I just wanted to take a minute to say thank you. Okay. Anything you do above and beyond that, that's up to you. Okay. I don't want to sit there and go into the depthness of that, but I do want to make sure that one, we are asking, and number two, when they do give, that we are thinking. Okay. Because there's nothing worse than when somebody's giving you somebody and then you don't even acknowledge it, which unfortunately some agents will do. Okay. All right. Last question. Anybody else have another question so I can wrap this up? Remember, we got to implement this. This is the best time of the year. We've talked about just doing the reconnection. You don't even have to talk about real estate. I'm telling you, just call them. Don't even talk about real estate. Just reconnect with them. Okay? Joe, hey, it's Robert Villanueva. How are you doing? How have you been? What's going on? How's life? How's this? How's that? Blah, blah, blah. Awesome. It's good to hear from you. Hey, man, what I want to do is this next year, I just want to check in with you 3 or 4 times a year and give you some real estate updates. Is it okay if I do that? Awesome. Great. Thank you so much. Hey, any real estate questions I can answer for you now? No? Okay. No worries. We'll talk next year, okay? Have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and thank you so much for taking my call. That's it. That's all I want you to do. Okay? Let's go out there. Let's set an appointment. Let's go take a listing or 5. Let's pick up. I'll see you guys. Have an amazing weekend. I'll see you guys on Tuesday morning. Make sure you guys continue to show up. Thank you guys for continuing to show up. I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.